All right, but yes, this is Frank versus Oliver, and I'm very curious to see this one because I feel like Oliver is the type of dude that Frank would probably have a very good time hassling. So I'm curious to see how this one's gonna go. I'm really curious. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna see. All right. I gave Oliver some advice. I hope he kind of takes it. So there's a jab from Frank, jab to the body from Frank, jab to the stomach from Oliver. They don't look like they're going hard right now. Maybe they end up picking it up. Jab to the body from Frank. No, jab to the elbow that somehow hurt his elbow, I guess. I don't know. Again, jab to the body. They seem to be going body shots right now. They're probably a little bit nervous about hitting each other in the head. That can happen sometimes. Cross up the middle from Frank. I like how he has his pass thing dangling from his neck. That's funny to me. So a couple jabs from Frank. Another jab from Frank. Jab cross from Oliver. Another jab from Frank. Doesn't seem like it landed like that. So jab uppercut to the body from Oliver. Their heads are... Oh, there's a cross from Oliver, but he didn't really follow through on it. Didn't really follow through on it. I was going to say they seem to be almost afraid to go to the head, but Oliver's at least kind of picking it up right now. He's going to the head again after that first one that sort of landed. Oliver almost got caught with his foot on the inside. That's a horrible place to be when you're in the lefty stance. Oh, what did he do? He faked like he was going to go to the head, and the head was open. He shouldn't have faked. Oh, yeah, he got bopped for real there. Yeah, Frank let him have it there. See, Frank's a big dude, so even if it doesn't look like he really was going that hard, you know, it's still, you know, still was, I'm sure it didn't feel good. Oh, they're not going to stop, right? So, jab to the body from Frank, Oliver goes over the head, goes again. I don't think he quite got hit from that return from Frank. Oh, got him in the head that time. So Frank is just not protecting his head at all. I think he still thinks this is a body shot game, right? I think he still thinks this is body shot sparring. He's got to at least keep his hands up a little bit. Either that or when he sees Oliver moving in, he's got to get a hand or something up, right? Oh. So... Oliver got caught in the pocket. He was just sort of throwing that jab, right? And he should have got out after that. You got to be in and out with somebody who's bigger than you. Kind of snaked around. Didn't quite hit him in the kidney, but almost did. Frank's throwing jabs to the body and he's leaning in. He's really like... And you see Oliver comes to the head. Frank kind of returns, and Oliver gets smart this time. He throws his hands up. Oh, but that one snuck through. All right, and seems like this is the end. Now, to my understanding, they did a round 2, but it looked like it was really, really lagging very bad. So I don't even think it's really 100% worth it to look at it. If there's another version or something like that that comes out soon, you know, if they release the Advanced Cam, then maybe I'll take a look at it then. No, I don't think it's really worth it to look at the camera angle that is going to be like really choppy and stuff like that. Roboman2424 says, Oliver doesn't really look like he's trying too hard with his punches. Yeah, he kind of is in the same boat as Shinji. He's not really trying to... Here's the thing, right? When you're throwing a punch, right? I can throw, like, as fast as I want. I can make it look hard, but it doesn't mean I'm actually driving the knuckles into the person, right? One of the things that they say in boxing is when you punch someone, you don't punch to the front of their head. You punch to the back of their head. Meaning... If I was to, like, you know, here's my head, here's somebody else's fist, right? Somebody's fist comes in, they hit me, they pull back immediately, they're punching to the front of my head. As soon as they hit, they pulled back. You don't want to do that, though. You want to punch to the back of the head, meaning hit, drive the force in. That's where you see someone's head snap back, is because someone punched and they didn't just stop when they made contact. They, bang, drove it in. That's kind of what Shinji and Oliver both need. And that's something that it's really easy to learn how to do. You don't even need years of boxing to be able to do that. But on the flip side, if you are if you're not doing that naturally and nobody's telling you to do that, there's a big chance you're probably not going to do it on your own. Maybe if you get like angry or something like that, you'll do that. But typically, you're not just going to start. If I had to give this to somebody, I would honestly give it to Oliver, though, I will say, because he was landing punches to the head and body more than Frank was. When Frank did land to the head, you could see Oliver really did not like it one bit. But that was when Frank was landing to the head, which there was only like 2 or 3 separate times where anything kind of snuck through. If Oliver quit, then obviously it would go to Frank. But just judging by who I think won the fight based off of who did better landing punches and imposing their will, I think Oliver imposed his will a little bit better than Frank did. From what I've seen, what I saw here, I would have to give it to Oliver. That's the way that it is, all right? Airsoft Fatty versus Frank. And in this one, I know they didn't really go that hard, okay? I'm not looking at this thinking like, oh, it's going to be a clash of the Titans. But we'll go ahead, and I actually did watch this one. I know what happens eventually in the fight, and when that does happen, I'm going to have to hit pause real quick. But yeah, it's not that long. I just want to see if there's anything we can see that is interesting to look at. So, with that said, so Fatty starts off with a cross, and it's funny seeing Chris in a boxing stance. He actually almost looks sort of natural in it, in a way. It's kind of crazy. That was a pretty decent jab. That was like a good jab, right? So he got bopped in the head. The headgear kind of coming off, seems like. Frank taking advantage. That's not a bad thing. Unless the referee stops, you don't stop. So it's all scoring blows for Frank. Jab to the body. It's funny, the mechanics of Chris's jab, I actually really like them. He has a nice looking jab. You see, like that right there. Like, I'm actually going to rewind a little bit, right? I'm going to rewind. One of them actually looked like it landed, right? He steps into it. He extends in a straight line. That was nice. That that was actually kind of nice. He just needed to kind of step into range a little bit more. I'm actually, no lie, impressed by that. I'm not just looking for things, nice things to say about Chris either. It's funny, and I remember watching it earlier thinking to myself, are my eyes deceiving me? Is this really what's happening in front of my face right now? Chris actually kind of looks like a boxer a little bit. Now, I'm not saying he's Ali. I'm just saying he kind of looks like a bit of a boxer. He keeps a stance, right? He flicks his jab out in a straight line. He's not pulling back. He's not he's not doing what Shinji does and just extending. He's actually kind of stepping in and turning a little bit. It's really nice to see. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Right? So he gets bopped by Frank. Bopped by Frank again. Another one. Another one. See, really, I think what it is the headgear is just not suiting him. The headgear is just not suiting him. So he kind of flicks a jab out there, flicks another jab out there. He actually connects while Frank is moving in. Jab to the body, and all right. I'm pretty sure that's it. Is that it? Hold on. Let me double check. Let me double check. Yep. That's it. I mean, look, if I had to give it to somebody, I'd definitely give it to Frank. Frank is the one who was landing most of the punches, obviously. Now, Chris landed a couple of jabs in there that I was actually pretty impressed by, as I said. Very good on him. Very good on him. I want to see Chris lose the weight. And I have kind of a policy. I will never tell somebody to fight, right? I will never tell somebody, hey, dude, you should take an MMA fight. You should take a boxing match. Because I know what that means, right? I know what that means. But if it meant that Chris was able to lose the weight, if he had something to focus on that was going to help him to lose the weight, I would say Chris should take a boxing match. And I don't mean like, oh, set a boxing match in like 2 months and try and lose weight. No, I mean, he should think, you know what? I want to take one boxing match in my life and I want to do it at a healthy weight. So I think I'll start losing weight. And then once I get into a healthy range for me and I start correcting any other issues that I have, because I guarantee you he has other physical issues with his body as a result of carrying around all that weight. You know, once he fixes those issues, then he can set a date and he can get on like a Misfits card, or I don't know, like maybe create a Clash 3 maybe, or something like that.